Because it's where the dungeon is. That's weird. Everybody's still there, thank you. And we're starting Brush Fire 4 tonight.
2, 3, go.
No, this is supposed to be Final Fantasy. But I was that close to beating the game anyway, so I'm going to item and weapon system was ferocious. I mean, ferocious. One of the worst item systems I've ever felt. But like I said, it's really things I loved about the game. One, the fact that you're not just playing as I keep on strolling to the wrong things, but welcome to oh uh welcome to a improv live what the fuck happened to my world, the white necromancer story. This is your host, Thunder Drummer. I am going to be doing this story until my next pre-roll, which is in about 50 minutes. And then I am going to be going on to play Splintered, which was gifted to me by Sarzad. I don't know how long exactly I'm going to be playing, but I'm going to be playing. But I am going to try to at least play it for at least 2 hours. Very retro style gaming, our game. But anyway, let's get on to it. A little backstory of basically some of the stuff that happened. He was a summoned hero from another world to a basically be the hero, but his genes and his own body kind of won out over the power he got for being a hero, and he ended up getting upgrading the powers of both, but because he didn't want to be an evil prick, he found and also realized that there was a lot of similarities between a white a white mage and priest and cleric classes. So he did the most stupid move that you can make and actually went to one of the head temples because he was a summoned hero. He didn't get executed right away. He actually ended up talking to the head guy there and the Pope in equivalent terms, and had a nice chat with him, saying he wanted to actually learn some of the differences between necromancy and the priesthood, because some of the different things kind of overlapped in his opinion, and he didn't want to be an evil bastard. They end up arguing for a little bit. Then he was like, "You know what? You're one of the summoned heroes. We'll see what you can do before I make judgment." And then he went and studied for years, and then, or not for years, well, actually, yeah, for years. And he ended up coming back to him is like, um, I made a new class accidentally, and he was came out to be a white necromancer, and he explained to him all the different process. I mean, he documented everything and then gave it to him. It's like next time you get a necromancer, he can have a little bit of a choice before you execute him right away. I know I had the advantage of being a summon hero, but the steps and stuff that I took here is not relevantly to this, and this. And overall, I think it'd be a lot better of a fit than just to be killed just because they have a different class. And of course, you need to discuss it with your gods and whatnot. And he gave, and then they ended up sitting there after he gave him a bow, like for hours discussing all this. And of course, he got a revelation about how this could actually help save thousands of lives. Necromancy is still a super rare skill, even amongst the demon kind. So he went out and battled and ended up beating the demon lord. But there was a plot put in place over the woman that he loved most in this world ended up putting a sword to his back. Um, she did not do it under her own cognizance, and he knew that. So when he went up to see the goddess again over his, dead body, he explained to her, like, hey, this didn't happen. It wasn't her fault. Don't blame her for it, which she was pissed. And he made her promise to send her to his world, which he didn't know was being burnt down at the moment, for another chance at life. And then she eventually sent him back to his world because apparently he was supposed to be a major player in some of the events that went on to actually keep the world falling into complete chaos like it did. And when he woke up in his world, he found himself in a zombie apocalypse. He found his own bunker that he built before he left and booted up some of the stuff around. Started found out that he was in his body that was combined with both with his body from there and here. And he had all of his strengths and abilities and even had his system he had in the other world. He started at level 1 again, but he's level 1 with like experience points like a million to get to the second level. Because he still had all of his abilities from the other world, including the hero stuff. And he trained for a little bit, got back, and then did a few things. Now, time has flipped forward for 6 months, given this time period was like the training arc ish. He got used to his abilities, he got used to scavenging, bringing food and different unperishables. Even made a secret garden where no zombies could actually get to it without some real dangerous effort and whatnot. All right, the scene that you see before you, not see before you because it's a story, but there's this woman on the ground just killed a zombie, but that zombie took a big chunk out of her leg as and she knew from that she was probably going to be dead soon and end up turning into one of those horrible beasts. She was crying like crazy. I don't want to turn into a zombie. When this this force bursts through the door, she looks over and sees this guy in a military outfit with a katana on his back. He looks down at her. He's up there crying, I want to live, but I'm going to die. I don't want to be a zombie. Just kill me now. He goes over there, stretches out his hand. She feels this feeling over her, which was awkward to say the least. Looked down at her leg, and next thing she knew, she felt a sword literally go through her leg, chopping off her leg completely. She screamed, but as soon as she went to open her mouth to scream, the dude put something in her mouth. He says, and then her body went stiff where she felt like she was paralyzed and she couldn't move. There was blood rushing out of her leg, but before not, she started screaming in agony, like there was something being ripped out of her soul type agony. Um, she ends up looking down in her like pain, but then realizes the dude is actually like trying to cradle her head, trying to be and yelling at her, "This will be over here in a minute." She ends up looking down in her agony to try to see what's going on, and she sees something that makes her pass out between the pain and the everything else. She just plunks back out, thinking this is it. She wakes back up, looks around, goes to stand up, like, where am I? And then stops for a second. It's like, wait a moment. How the fuck am I? She looks down and her leg, she has a leg that looks brand spanking new. But, it's still her leg. I mean, it was smooth as a baby, jumped around on it, no pain. Went to start breathing. She's like, I'm not dead. I'm not. And she starts jumping up and down. Actually, even did a backflip. And then she heard a dude chuckle in the background. Well, I'm glad you're lively. She looks over, frightened. It's like, what do you want? What are you going to do to me? And then she realized, it's like, you're the guy that cut my leg. I'm the guy that saved your leg after you were infected with the virus. Um, okay. How am I walking? Magic. Funny. How he lifts out his hand and this little green skull ends up popping up, starts moving it around, and then disappears. And then he makes a little cut on his hand with a knife that he had. There's like blood rushing out of it, and then he uses his hand and says this weird wording stuff, and it's stitched back together. Like I said, magic. What? I mean, she was fiberglass. She bows down at that moment, like in a lot of the comics and stuff that she used to read as, well, since forever. Comics, manga, anime. You have gave me new life. You have saved my life. I will do whatever you need. I am yours to command. When saying that, something clicked in the air. He was like, no, 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 no. Fuck. Well, I hope you meant those words. He said. He pulls her head up. What do you mean? And then a system message pops up in her vision. Um, Soldier, Like it said her name, her age, all of her, and then a bunch of numbers after saying like strength, yada yada yada, magical ability, MAG, which she assumes is magic, which was like I could do magic, and then under that says class soldier of the WN. Like he hyper focused on that, and then it expanded. You are now a soldier of the White Necromancer, a hero from another world, from this world. Yes, it is confusing, but he was summoned to another world to be a hero, but he ended up becoming a necromancer, and he basically changed his class for the third time to keep from being an evil douche. This was actually in the description of the thing, and her eyes went wide. When you bowed down and said the words, you under with his magic still in your system, you bound yourself to the White Necromancer, which is something he was not wanting to actually happen. He actually even said that. But with your determination, you are now under his command. And then it gave a just think of it like because it was actually explaining it to her in like some of the werewolf stories of your time where he's basically the alpha and you're one of his werewolf warriors. You will gain stats according to your level, and you'll gain different abilities and even different class changes, but you'll always be under his command. You're not his slave by any, but if he wants something done or wants something from you, you kind of have no choice. No matter if he puts his foot down, so to speak. But he is not that type of person, and also did not want this to happen to begin with. As you get stronger, you have the ability, with you being free thinking and completely voluntary, you end up becoming one of the strongest commanders, and you have the ability and know how to become stronger. With your nursing background and your martial arts that you everything that you took while you were younger ends up will end up playing a role in how you feed and grow. Bonus proficiency in hand to hand combat martial art. And then it went down through like he's gonna be light armor would be the most proficient for her to wear. She'll also be a gunsmith, martial artist is her abilities. That's been amplified through everything. Well, as everything, she looks as stunned as she is. I she hears, I am not going to command you around like you're some sort of slave. And you're not from the description I'm reading. You can follow me if you want, or you can go. It is your decision. But if you follow me, I'll help you grow to get stronger, be able to protect yourself and others. He smiled. I am at your service, Commander. Like, he just says, this ain't an army. All right, Commander. Oh, by the way, my name is Sarah. Sarah Too Good. Too Good? Yeah, I kind of changed my name because of some family issues, and I was kind of not in my right mind, and I ended up putting down Too Good, thinking it was kind of a joke. And I get made fun relentlessly because of it. So, yeah, or I used to. But before we do much, can we go and see if we can't save the people in the underground bunker? That is where I was. I was out scouting for, or was out scavenging when a horde come up on us. And then she saw all the dead bodies around as soon as we walked outside. And it's like, holy shit. Did you do this? He smiled with a grin. Well, in time you should be able to do something similar. Even now, you're stronger than what you were. That is some of the perks. But let's go save your friends. She guided them to an area of the city. I need to get a better vantage point on all this. He grabs her and he jumps silently on top of a roof, which makes her go, not making a bunch of noise as he covered her mouth. Like, and yeah, she looks down in terror and sees a horde going off. Even seeing some of her friends that she was out with in the zombie horde, of course, part of the zombie horde. And also saw where the door to the bunker was absolutely trapped. No way that nobody could get in or out because it was meant to be a storm shelter. It was meant to be a storm shelter from the very beginning. Well, started crying, and it's like, I don't know how before, and he grabs her again and then jumps right in the middle of the horde. he gave her a gun that he found, like, and then gave her a ring. As soon as she put the ring on, he tells her, try to keep your will inside the ring. It will help protect you. And I believe you're kind of immune to the virus now, too, by the way. He said, "Would cover me." And then the next thing she knew, she saw heads half chopped off, top of the heads, um, all over the place, zombies on fire, icicles coming up from the ground and coming from his hands. Some of the zombies stopped moving, started clawing at their own head. It's something that he learned that he could do, actually take over the actual skeletons while also using some of his other abilities with that flash of light coming out of his sword, chopping through hundreds of zombies all at once. She was in awe, but then she looked down at the revolver and the M6 beam she had in her hand. She threw the revolver in her pocket, pulled the other to her chest, and then she felt a will on the ring, noticing none of the zombies are coming to her. So she concentrated on it a little bit, dividing her concentration between that and firing the rifle she had, and started taking out zombies one by one, headshots every last time. And when the zombies went to notice her and attack her, the earth or the kind of was like a shiver every time that they touched this invisible dome around her. Their hands started evaporating. Uh, Even a few of them accidentally killed themselves trying to rush in with their head to get a bite of this young girl. And within a matter of about 20 minutes, she looked around in dead horror slash excitement, looked at the guy, was like, this is a little messy, said with a chuckle. He laughed for a second. Yeah, well, could have kept this ring to protect yourself with. He looks up at him with a sheepish grin. Yeah, I really don't need it. Between me being able to kill so quick and his um sorry I lost train of thought for a second. Oh, gosh, grab some water. Talking straight kinda makes things a little difficult sometimes. But he looked over to where he saw the thing, saw the door being cracked open. He saw this guy in a military outfit, and the other dude looked at Sarah and was like, "You're alive?" Look back and it's like, yeah, barely. This guy saved me. And the dude was happy that he got this mysterious man saved her. Like, thank you. You're not here to harm us, are you? He could feel his gaze upon him and said, well, if I was, I I would have already in action. He said, matter of factly, with kind of a sheepish grin under his mask. But no, I'm here to request, here under a request to try to help you guys that you guys are in a bad situation. He looked over and saw the girl and like jumping around. Like, yippee! Thank you. Ran over and grabbed his arm. He looked in shock. Thank you so much for saving my friends. Is there anything that we can do to actually help them? Since you know so much? You end up looking around and it's like, could actually make a small fort with tractor trailer trucks around. Go in with your friends, and then I'm gonna do some stuff out here to help fortify this area. Okay, but don't leave me. I was serious about helping you. Okay, you would be able to understand when I left anyway. No, that is true. That is very, very true. Said sheepishly as she went down there. Don't look out for a while. I'm gonna be doing some sketchy shit to get shit moved around properly, okay? Okay. And he went down. First thing he did is touch the ground, said a couple words and spell unease. Get it? Spell unease. Anyway, and all the zombies there that wasn't too banged up started rising, and a lot of them started combining together. Out of the over 500 zombies there, about 25 of them remained with no more dead bodies from the combining of what he did. And then he spoke. Harry started giving them orders, telling them to bring these tractor trailer trucks. Only the back gave him specific orders to bring them here, stack them, and he had 5 of the skeletons left out from doing that. Told them to start cleaning up the area while he used his own magic to do stuff. And seen a bunch of bone creatures running around picking up stuff that was unbelievable. Like, seriously, like one of them picked up an entire tractor trailer truck, shook the truck off, heard a loud bang, and then brought the truck bed over to the area. A few of them were there ripping the stuff off the bottom of it and stuff. And before you knew it, there was a 4 tall barricade around the area, on the small area around the thing, with with ways to get into the trailer beds and stuff to attack or do what they needed to protect the place, get in and out if they needed to, even vehicles stuff. There was actually a full garage he left in the perimeter of there. Um, he used some of the things to create not semi permanent housing. Even made a pit. He basically made a small village out of the different parts and stuff that he saw. He used found some beds at a mattress store. When he then he told the skeletons to protect this place to the best of their abilities, and vanished down into the ground after he said a few words in Spelunese again. All but 5 of them, the 5 he had explore, fell into the ground for protection of this village. Those 5 he actually started combining and using for parts for any of the areas that was still able to get by. And he used his own magic, some of his own magic, to weld and stuff like that as well. He made this pretty cool contraption. Some of the stuff that his skeletons wear, it looked like a 4-inch thick um door, looked like a bank door, but then with modifications all around it to give it more of a door look instead of a safe vault. And he developed a mechanism using some of his skills to be able to raise, lower the thing, but when it was lowered, it slid into the ground where it could actually protect the general area. He wrote some runes around the inside of the perimeter, inside walls of the perimeter, that slowly healed anybody that was in on the surface of this ground. He knocked on the door and says, "It is finished." It being 3 days later, his his companion, or who he saw as a companion, came rushing out with a bunch of the leadership in the area, and their eyes dropped soon as he saw what he did. Like I said, it looked around, there was 4 tall when it come to the gates all being metal, a nice bathroom area, even though it was kind of small still, and everything as well. And wake up. Well, the leader is like, how did you don't ask questions? Really don't want to know the answers. Like, fair enough. He looked over and he's like, a garden? A food garden. Yes. More than just what you do need. Well, so sorry for the minor blanket outage. Going for like 30 seconds. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. I just did something to get my gears back to normal. Well, all of them went out and saw, hey, are these houses made out of? Yes. I even made a small kitchen. Keep in mind it's more of a old school type kitchen, but kitchen nonetheless. Stuff together, water, and even boil it to get most of the impurities stuff out as well over here. And then he started showing these people around the small village that he made. And he even said keeping people on both underground and overground at everybody. Even made some plans for them as got along and whatnot. So, the leader of this small little town, now town, looked back over him and was like, "How?" When I mean magic, did something like that, and he ended up and went from there over to like that and healed a lot of the wounds and stuff on the people surrounding him. Then saying magic exists. And this is my new princess. I saved her from a bunch of zombies. If she wants to stay, though, that is her decision. Fair. Said Buddha. So, uh, well, he started showing the people around some of the offensive stuff that he made like some of the sliding metal paneling to be able to attack zombies, use spikes, guns, or whatever. Well, anyway, he showed him around the town, showed him that there was a blacksmith area, a kitchen nook, a more of a kitchen. Even saw a made a dry age and whatnot. Showed him how to use it properly. Showed him how to dehydrate the food to get jerky and how to make jerky. All this stuff. Well, he showed some of the people that was interested in cooking how to use all the different things, even like the makeshift blender that they had to use foot to cut everything. It was kind of glorious, to be honest with you. How everything melted, how everything was, and whatnot. The townspeople were just over the moon for the safety. Yeah, I mean, even they saw beds and stuff in some of the houses. I mean, everything looked a little bit primitive feel. So, yeah, like I said, the villagers and stuff were super happy. Um, he showed them some of the areas where he opened up the small window to get guns or spears. They've made preparation for raiders and stuff that would come to try to steal what they have and what they built, and making trade, even made areas where they could start growing their own food between chicken coops and a small garden. He helped these guys out for about a month before he ended up having to say goodbye. She ended up coming out saying he's just turned level 5. So he did what he promised to in this area. He told the girl, "Hey, Sarah, I'm gonna have to keep moving along." He shook her head and be like, "Let me get a backpack. I'll be ready to go." He looked at her confused. "Do you not want to stay with your family?" So that is where I'm going to go ahead and end this story for today. Let me know in the comments below, other than me getting drowsy, with kind of ruined it. I was still planning on bringing it out just a little bit more. But I'm going to be on a Be Right Back screen for a minute or two. Probably go ahead and have them run their stupid ads and whatnot. And then prepare to get on Splintered, which was gifted to me by Sarzak. See you here in a few minutes. Okay, that's better.
Looks clear. Come on. We're almost through to the sewers.
Way better. Yeah. Zoom around.
Damn it! The gate is barred from the other side. A trap!
What about that side passage back there?
Worth a try. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a trap. Sure.
But it seems we'll just have to track Megas down by ourselves. With Rylus gone, we have nothing further to gain from staying here. It's the...
Wait! Please wait. I'm sorry to come running after you like this. It's just that I wanted to ask you a favor.
Yes, a favor.
Are you not afraid of me, young lady?
I dreamt about you. I dreamt that some people came to town with a strange creature. It was sort of...
Plus. $12,000. I'm gonna need. And I am doing well. I just hit 100 followers. I seriously never thought that was ever going to happen. she supposed to be a boss?
You spell you own and you try and break me. Maybe if you open your eyes, you will see that I am stronger, stronger than you think. I'm stronger than you think.
Fine. This ought to be quick. Now!
See them all. Go up. Over. Down. Hardly any of them are horror games. No. On a Pokemon game. I don't think you have to go through that to ban somebody. Naked mole rat. It's a naked mole rat. I need to go ahead and eat. No! No, 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 no. Oh, that's fucked up. Fuck.
Might be in big trouble. Jack! Jack!
Look strong.
Might be in big trouble. Don't worry. We got this.
Good.
Up, Jack! Get up!
This sucks.
Alright. I going to raid somebody. Oh, Coco Jeep. Thrower. Coco Jeep.